YouTube. Welcome back. It's your boy JVinkshu back with another Call of Dragons video. Today we're going to be looking at the two new legendary heroes added to the game and the two epic heroes that have already been added. If you like this type of content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Let's get to it. Alright guys, let's go ahead and take a look at the two new heroes. And we'll start out with Danfell. Danfell, Infantry, PvP, and Tank. And we're just going to be looking at him here. Let me know what you guys think of his design. Little dwarf looking guy. He has a little mohawk, beard, piercings. The shield is actually what's going to be the new legendary artifact. So if you can want to find out more on that, I'll let you guys know. But overall, pretty decent, cool character. Go ahead and take a look at his stats. We have the shield strike. Attack range is near. Grants the Legion shield and deals damage to the target Legion. Shield factor is 300 for 3 seconds, and the physical damage is 700. But if you get that max, it's 1600 damage and up to 600 shield. Okay, not bad. Obviously, not a lot of. I thought it would be more shield, honestly, but it seems like pretty decent amount of skill damage, honestly. Number 2 is Greymar's Aegis. Aegis. While in the field, the Legion and friendly legions behind it gain Mercy for 3 seconds every 10 seconds. So Mercy is range damage taken is minus 8%, and buff legions is 3. So 3 legions taking minus 8% range damage, and that's triggered 10 seconds. Obviously, getting that to 5 will be 20%. So 20% minus 20% range damage taken for 3 seconds every 10 seconds. Pretty good. That's actually pretty decent. It's a pretty nice tank. Brothers in Arms. It's a passive skill. All infantry units in the Legion gain 4% defense and 8% HP. Okay, so up to 10% defense and 20% HP. Yeah, this guy sounded pretty tanky. Sounds like he'll be able to survive out there pretty long. Halfling Fury. It's another passive. When the Legion casts Shield Strike, the target Legion gains debilitation and slow for 6 seconds. Debilitation takes up to 20% more damage from this Legion, and the slow march speed is up to. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, up to 20. After this march speed is minus 20%, and the damage taken up to 20% more. So you get to slow them down by 20%, and they get to take 20% more damage. I like that. That's pretty good. And the Awakened. When dealing damage to a Legion affected by Halfling Fury, adds 1 second to the duration of the debilitation and slow. This can be triggered once every 2 seconds. You can add a second to this skill, so it'll be 7 seconds of debilitation and slow. It's an extra second. That's a lot. That's extra damage taken for that person. You just have to trigger this. Was it this one? Halfling Fury. Yeah. I mean, he sounds pretty tanky. Sounds like he'd be pretty good for taking up as much damage as up front. Not counter damage. He's more similar to, I would say, like almost like Amelia with the shield. But look at her shield, 1200 shield factor, and his was only 600. So he doesn't have, his shield is not that crazy, honestly. Magro. Now this is a cool design right here. I love it. Love the gold. Just looks mean. Fall colors. Big. This guy looks like a tank. And he is infantry garrison skills. Let's see. Ashes of Rage. This is gains lash out for 3 seconds. Meanwhile, target is branded and bruised for 3 seconds. Lash out deals diffuse physical skill damage every second to the target and two surroundings. So up to three, the main and the two surrounding them. And the lash out damage is up to 450, and HP is minus 30. And if we forgot what diffuses, each legion takes 50% less damage per additional target, but to a maximum of 50%. So it sounds like the more there is, the less damage. But obviously, you're dealing more to, you're at least dealing it to multiple, not just one. So yeah, that's pretty cool. It does damage. Skill factor, it's not that high, but the HP reduction, that's big right there, minus 30%. I mean, it's exactly what a tank's supposed to do, right? It's not really there to do too much damage, but like to soak up damage, or like make sure that the other opponent is taking more damage than they are. And I feel like that's exactly what Magro does. Rancorous Rampage. It's a passive skill when the Legion inflicts a debuff upon a target via an innate skill. The effect is also transmitted to up to two surrounding targets. Targets are also prioritized for lash out and future effect transmission. And hero skill damage dealt to debuff targets is up to 15%, and the duration 10 seconds. Can be reset. So how do you reset that? So let's see. The 5 fixed skills that every hero starts out with. These do not include their talent. When the Legion inflicts a debuff upon a target via innate skill. So is there like a skill that does here a debuff? The bruise is probably the debuff, I'm assuming. It's just taking away minus 30%. So when you do that, that's also doing it to two other legions. Wow, okay. And then that adds plus 15% damage, hero skill damage. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, I'm hoping that's what it means. I'm assuming the bruise is the debuff, and this rampage just adds more damage, because that damage skill factor, it's not high, but you add another 15% to it, and then the other two surrounding legions also take it, not just your main target. Pretty good. Gold dust. Legions, Legion infantry units gain. Let's see, 10% physical attack and 20% defense. So this is kind of what you expect. This is where he's adding the attack, a little bit more attack to it. So and then more defense. And here's your garrison skill. While garrisoning a city or stronghold, Legion has a 10% chance to increase damage dealt by 10% and bypass 10% of the target's HP for 3 seconds. So unless you're going to use this, as a garrison, you definitely want to go 5-5-5 before unlocking that last skill. So 5-5-5 is your priority on this one. And this one is the awakening skill. When dealing damage to a branded enemy legion, deals additional physical skill damage, an extra 200, and it could be triggered every 5 seconds. So yeah, definitely go 5-5-5, and then if you want to awaken it, you can. Doesn't seem like it's gonna be that big, but definitely I think he does. It's very unique with the debuff and the extra skill gained percentage, especially on those targeted and surrounding legions. I feel like this might be a good hero, like not just hitting up the tanks, like running up to them and like hitting them at the line. Like if you can come out, flank the all the infantry and go straight to like the range units and just hit them. That way they get the diffuse and the debuffs and HP reduction. I think that would be pretty big. So maybe might be a different way to play tanks. Not just run straight up to another tank and hold the line, but maybe it's a way to flank. Who knows? Let's go ahead and we also have two new epic heroes. They are, I believe, Gathering. We'll start with Terra. Terra, the healer of the humble. He's a overall Gathering support. Kind of reminds me of Indus. Overall Gathering. Let's see how similar the skills are. Maybe she's like exactly as Indus, but like a toned down version of it. So let's see. Her attack range is very far. Heals the legions lightly wounded and grants the legions synergy until the legion casts a rage. The healing factor starts at 250, goes all the way to 500, and the hero skill damage plus up to 20%. What is in this? There's diffused damage and heals up to 2 friendly legions nearby. Doesn't say it heals nearby enemies. You heal yourself up to 500 healing factor and deals extra 20% heal skill damage. Enlightenment passive skill while in battle. The legion and 4 surrounding friendly legions gain keen and resistance every 10 seconds. The keen is attack plus 15% and damage taken minus 10% every 5 seconds. Up to 4 friendly legions. That's crazy. That's pretty good. Mm. Imagine just running like a 4 of you, a group of 4, and just like you guys are running Terra together. Mm. Like up to 20%. Mm. If it all stacks up together, the damage attack and the damage reduction will be crazy. Gathering and Provider increases Legion gathering speed by 20% and mana gathering speed by 20%. So there's your gathering skill. And Guild's Blessing, Legion gains 4% defense and 4% HP, or 10% defense, 10% HP. And the Awakening skill, it takes the healing factor from 500 to 6. Not bad. Sounds like you could potentially use her out in the field if you guys wanted to. And then we also have Niernin, if I'm saying that right. She's Infantry Gathering skill, Black Claw. She is deals diffused physical damage to the target and surrounding legions. Damaged legions receive 5% less healing for 3 seconds. Okay. Max target is 3, damage factor is up to 600, and healing receive reduction up to 15%. That's pretty nice. For epic hero, that's pretty good. Reduces the healing of their enemy. Okay, the number 2 skill is the gathering skill. Increase legion gathering speed by 20 and gold gathering speed by 20. Okay, another gold. Legion infantry units gain 5% physical attack and deals 4% more skill damage. Up to 15% physical attack and 10% more skill damage. This just adds another tank. Although they are gathering heroes, sounds like they could be used out in the field, especially for like a free to play player. It just adds something that more heroes you could actually use, and not be struggling to get those legendaries up. The fourth skill is Shadow Ambush. When the Legion launches a normal attack, they have a 10% chance to inflict Bloom on the target, reducing the target's attack by 20%. 5 seconds. Oh yeah, so you definitely use this out in the field. You can go like 5, 5, 1, 5, 5 for sure if you're just trying to actually use her out in the field. For a free to play player, for sure. It'll be helpful for them. And the Awakening skill, it takes each time Nirna casts Black Claw, she gains 2% HP up to 10%. Effects last until her legion joins or leaves a rallied army, or enters a stronghold or resource. So as long as you are still out in the field and don't join anything, a rally, stronghold, or resource point, then you gain the 2% HP to 10%. So yeah, if you want to use her as gathering, you can do that for sure. But she sounds like it could be useful out on the field. And same thing with Terra. She's kind of like Indus. Maybe you can run these together. You never know. I'm pretty sure there's other combos. So if you want to do her, if you do 5-1-5, and for Terra you want to do 5-5-1. But that shouldn't be hard to get or hard to do. If you have any question, guys, let me know down in the comments for sure. But those are the 4 total new heroes, 2 legendary, 2 epics. Let me know who you think has the best design. I personally see Magro probably the coolest. But that's it, guys. If you have any questions, let me know what you guys think of the new heroes, both the legendary both and the epic. But if you like this, make sure to hit that like again. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.